Hey guys, it's Alana.
And Jonah.
And welcome back to another episode of
Seeing Other People.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Was that at the same time?
That was at the same time. Your hat and your shirt are matching.
It's
Very
Nantucket
beautifully.
Red.
Yeah.
On the Q&A today, I'm telling everyone that it's Nantucket Red, which is an off. Are you familiar with this color?
I'm not.
You've never heard of Nantucket Red?
No, I've heard of Nantucket and I've heard of red, but not Nantucket Red.
It's like an off summery red.
Wow.
I like your sweatshirt, by the way. I would wear mine, but it's literally 90 fucking degrees in my room.
No, I'm sweating. Okay, so for those who are listening, reminder, we have all of our episodes up on YouTube in full video, so you can actually watch and hang out with us, pretend we're your little movie stars on your TV or on your phone. But I am wearing the sweatshirt that We're Not Really Strangers sent us, and it's so cool. And it says, "Stop expecting people to love like you do." Oh, and Jonah, did you check out the special surprise inside that I told you about?
I did. I think mine was like, "You're doing amazing. Keep going," or something to that. What's yours say?
Wait, they all say something different?
Yeah, my front says something different. I'll grab mine at the end of the episode.
Holy shit.
Mine might be at the laundry.
Inside, so for backstory, inside the sweatshirt, it says something like you don't know that it's going to be there. I was wearing the sweatshirt and I Instagram storied it, and someone DM'd me being like, "Did you check the inside?" And I was like, "Holy shit." And later in the episode, we're actually going to play some We're Not Really Strangers. They sent us the cards and we are obsessed, and it's a really, really awesome way to be vulnerable with someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, or someone you're dating, or even just yourself. So yeah, so I'm wearing the sweatshirt, and the inside says, everyone's love looks different. And that's beautiful.
That's really nice. I like yours. Yeah, mine definitely says like, "Keep going, you're doing great." Something to that effect. But I will check.
You are doing great. Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So today's episode is about vulnerability. It is about using this. I mean, this is have you played this game before?
I have.
You have? Okay. Have you played this game on a date ever? Have you ever brought it on like a first date?
Not on a date, but actually Jake and I did play it recently after they sent it to us, and it was fun. But I'm all about like doing like, like the question game you play when you're like super flirty with someone. It's like, okay, ask me a question, then I'll ask you one. It's kind of like that, but it's a lot. It's low pressure because it's like, you don't have to come up with the questions, and they come up with really, really good questions. It's also like a similar concept to the 36 questions that lead to love in the New York Times. And it's a really, really great way to kind of break down the walls and have a little bit of help doing it. It's almost like there's a third person kind of being both of your wing man, wing woman, wing person.
I went on a first date once, and she brought, I don't know if it's the same version of this, but she brought this, and it was super fun to play. You can play it at a bar. You can play it wherever you are. It's very easy.
It's literally a deck of cards. A deck of cards. Right, red.
Also,
not Nantucket red.
They started it. Yeah, that's actually red. Yeah, and by the way, if you're watching this at home, this is red. This is Nantucket Red. That's just how you can tell. There's a bunch of spin-off games too. People who have like kind of just like copied this company, if you know what I'm talking about. But
real quick reminder, definitely hit us up on Instagram if you don't follow us yet, at Seeing Other People, where you've been posting a ton of fun content and a ton of video clips, and just like you get to look into our lives, and it's really fun. Also Patreon. We love our patrons. Definitely check out our Patreon. We do extra special things. We do bonus episodes every week, and you could even get your profile totally revamped by us, which has been a really, really awesome experience and has led to some really cool things. Well, it wouldn't be Seeing Other People without shout outs. So shout out to Jonah's Nantucket Red. Shout out to Jonah's Nantucket Red hat, and a shout out to Mindset Wellness CBD. I actually think at this point, Mindset Wellness CBD is like the reason that I can function in life as like a freelancer, a content creator, a friend, a girlfriend, a daughter, a dog mom. Like, I cannot credit Mindset Wellness more, because seriously, like if I am exhausted, but like I still have sleeping problems, I pop a rest gummy, helps me sleep. I wake up, I take a happy gummy, helps me get through the day. If I have a really big work day, I take a focus gummy. So could not recommend these more highly. And remember, Father's Day is coming up, and these would be an amazing Father's Day gift Because also think about like your stressed, busy fathers who are trying to juggle everything in the world and more. They would really appreciate it. My dad loves CBD. I'm sure yours does too. And head to mindsetwellnesscbd.com and use the code Seeing Other People at checkout, and you'll get 10% off and free shipping.
What is the deal with being vulnerable on dates? When do you personally, Alana, when do you start to be what you perceive to be vulnerable? And do you think you should put it all out there at first, or do you think you should hold back a little bit, at least in the first? Let's just talk about first couple dates.
So it's hard because I am definitely an oversharer.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily think that's entirely a good thing. I think it's a good thing to some extent where someone can tell I'm really like putting my cards out on the table and being myself and not holding back. But I also fear that I occasionally could run into the situation where I'm just like dumping on someone or like giving them all of my baggage like way too soon, where I think I've realized you kind of have to first, like, it's okay to like definitely like open up, definitely be honest, definitely don't hold back, but also like
Mhm.
maybe wait a few dates until they really like you to tell you about like for you to tell them about your past traumas and the last time you cried and like what keeps you up at night if it's like a really deep, intense, mystical thing. But at the same time, if they start to open up and be vulnerable, I do think it's important to match that energy and to meet them where they're at. What do you think,
Yeah,
Gemma?
yeah, I think it's just you got to read the room. There's I think a lot of people either are too conscious about it, like they're either trying to hold back or they're oversharing. And it should just be like we were talking about in our Jeremy Jacobowitz brunch episode. Shout out Jeremy, brunch boys.
Shout
Where
out
it's
number
like
one.
shout out number one. Well, I think we actually shout out the card game or and Nantucket
I
Red has
don't
got
think I didn't say shout out.
shout out Nantucket Red. We did do a shout out to Nantucket Red. Um, I feel like it's kind of like when you're drinking, being vulnerable. This is going to be such a fucked up comparison, but being vulnerable on a date is kind of like the pace at which you're drinking your beverage on a date. You don't want
Yeah.
to be the one who's chugging the drink and you're done with it in 5 minutes, aka you don't want to release every single thing you've ever experienced emotionally into the person. Yet at the same time, you don't want to drink super, super, super fucking slow. You want to
Right.
give them something to latch onto to understand you better. So I feel like mainly it's just that people aren't conscious about it. But I feel like you got to be super self aware. Like it's super tough because people are like, I've gone on dates with people where they overshare. Sometimes there's like tears because it's just kind of like they get into the spiral of the
Has someone
story.
cried on a first date with you?
Yeah, I think this has happened to a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. I've had a lot of friends who talk about dates where they're like, yeah, he started crying, and I haven't necessarily cried. And it's
Wow.
not about the other person. It's about just like the fact that they're going through some sort of sharing of something. And I think, people bottle up a lot of stuff, and then maybe for some reason talking to a complete stranger on a first date seems like an awesome opportunity to express stuff. But like, I feel like people my general consensus is that people try to hold back too much.
Hmm.
And while you don't want to overshare, I think people should be generally more trusting in their reveals. That's my take.
I'm still stuck on this question of like how many people have been on a first date where the other person cried. We're definitely going to have to pull that and do
That
a
sounds like a
question
great
box.
poll. That sounds like
Yeah.
a great poll.
Um, yeah. I mean, I really think it's just like kind of walking a fine line between sharing enough to let someone really get to know you, but not spilling an entire like your whole heart and world out. Because also like you don't want to wait forever, like you said, like you don't want to wait too long and be the person like that takes the entire night to finish one drink in
Mhm.
this like metaphor. But
Yeah.
because like if you do that, then the person's not really getting to know you. The
Right.
person might like you on the surface based on like what you look like and the jokes that you tell and like how you carry yourself, but that's not the real you. And I do think
Yeah.
I like in talking to a lot of people, I do think that people tend to hold back for a really long time. And I wonder how that actually impacts the ability for them to like actually form relationships.
I agree. I
But
agree.
I
I
get
think it's
that.
yeah. Yeah, I
I,
get it too. It just sometimes it's like, yeah, sorry, you were saying.
No, and I think this leads into like another point that we wanted to discuss is like sometimes you could be afraid to be vulnerable because you've been hurt in the past after being vulnerable or from being vulnerable, and I think that that's a really important thing to consider.
Yeah, I guess I like people who I'm attracted to, like people who are sort of unapologetically themselves and who open up. I mean, there's a lot of times that I've ended things because I didn't feel like the person was really expressing their true selves to me. I mean, completely different example, but interesting nonetheless, is like the Matt James season of The Bachelor, where he was like this person who really didn't, I don't think ever opened up. Because I know this guy off screen is like this funny, goofy dude. Yet we saw none of that really for the most part until Tyler C came to visit him. And he was
Right.
like with his friend. So he felt comfortable. But to this same extent, it's like, don't keep that wall up too long. Cause then the person you're with, like date 3 or 4, you don't know where he or she is going back to their friends and saying like, I don't know anything about this person still.
Yeah.
Do they like me? But like, you got to reset with the vulnerability thing. Like, I guess I understand it, but I don't agree with it that like, if you were hurt in the past, that should affect your future relationships. Everyone's fucking different. So you got to hit the reset button every single time.
But
Just because
it's
some,
Jonah.
I mean, I'm saying, I'm
Jonah
not saying it's easy to do. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's the way people should approach things.
Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, yes, but and it's actually interesting because I kind of realized like this past year, like I would get hurt and then just like put myself back out there and then like get hurt again and then put myself back out there and be very vulnerable with all these people and just consistently get hurt. And so I think actually like there was a point probably like right before the pandemic maybe where I was like dating people or maybe it was like before, mid, after sometime in surrounding 2020 and I was like I think I'm like broken now. Like I think I just like I'm emotionless. Like I think I can just go on dates with people and like really not be deep or feel any deep anything. And that was like crazy for me because for so long, like I said, like I would overshare. I would pour my fucking heart out to these complete strangers, but it would like those things would lead to relationships. But then after that, I was like, I just like I'm exhausted from this. I can't keep doing this, and I can't keep getting myself into these situations where I'm getting hurt. So I'm just like not going to be vulnerable and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That sucks. I think a lot of us, everyone, I feel like everyone thinks that they like, do you think anybody's out there who's like not, we all put ourselves out there like that so much. We all get always tossed down. I look at the times where I had the situation where I decided to be very open about my intentions on the first or second date. I want to see you again. I had a great time. You're really cool. I like you. Boom. I get ghosted. So, but then I don't go into the next series of dates. I don't go into there thinking that every girl is like that. Although I
Right.
have now been proven many times that when I do this sort of thing, it doesn't work in my favor in terms of them wanting to see me again.
Well, maybe do you think it was because of that?
Um, I think I don't take it personally. I don't think it's because I was being vulnerable. I think it's because the audience of person I was trying to attract isn't ready for that type of realness, that they
Okay.
are still perhaps more addicted to the game of dating because they're maybe at a certain age where that's attractive to them.
That makes
Um,
sense
yeah.
because with Jake, what I think the one thing that made me the most excited was and like open to the like experience and seeing where it was going was because right after every date he would text me and say, "I had a great time. I'd love to see you again." And I was like, "This is so damn refreshing." Yes, like
Can
it.
yes, yeah. You mind? Sorry.
Go.
No, this is I actually think about this quite a bit. I think it's really important for our audience to know that the success of this relationship that you're in right now, let us not forget that Jake sent you 4 messages on Hinge in a row without you responding.
I think it was 3. It was 3. It was 2 the first time, and then I didn't answer, and then he followed up again, being like, "Figure I'd try this again."
I think that's so important though, because you and I have gone through a whole couple seasons of this experience, and
Yeah.
we would say that that's not the play. Like we would, we would say that that's not the thing. But I think it's an interesting point to like, look how happy you guys are now. And yeah, he sent a third Hinge message. So the fuck what? And you
Yeah.
responded, which is great.
Yeah.
So like, I want to remind our listeners here that yes, we're talking about all these different things, but like at the same time, you never know what's going to happen.
And that's why we say there are no rules.
Right.
Because like every single person is different. Every single situation is different. Everyone out there has had different things happen to them. So at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong way to do things. It's just the way that you decide to do it and the way that feels right. And that's what matters, is like actually following your gut and doing what you need to do or what you feel like is the right thing to do.
Hundo P. So should we play a round of this?
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to bring up, because I think this will be a really good lead into us playing, is there could be a situation that we do run into where it's like you're opening up, but they're not opening up back with you. And obviously we just talked about how some people can be more closed off than others because of a million different reasons. But I think it's important to kind of figure out how to navigate that type of situation where the other person's not opening up to you and how you can actually get there. And I do think like something like getting a deck of We're Not Really Strangers cards and being like, oh, like I heard this game is really fun. My friend let me borrow it. Like, why don't we play it? Or doing the question game or doing something that leads to a more playful like push of opening up a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this is a great way to get people to, I mean, I don't know. Like, how do you pressure someone to open up to you? It's a really tough thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess another thing you could do is also just ask questions.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also like what we were saying before, I think you were saying like, how much do you reveal? Well, if the person's asking you a question, just answer the question.
Yeah.
You don't, but give them something. Like there's nothing worse than being on the other side of than asking someone a question, them giving you like a one-word response or something that really doesn't keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
As podcast hosts, we know this all too well.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
true.
Maybe what I'm suggesting here is if you're having trouble having people open up to you, start a podcast, learn how to talk to strangers and interview them, and then start going on dates. And it'll be a lot easier for you. Sponsored by Seeing Other People, sponsored by Mindset Wellness CBD. Hey, everybody. We're talking Mindset Wellness CBD gummies. They are our amazing sponsor. You guys know we've talked about them quite a bit. And we're here to tell you a little bit more about them. It's a great Father's Day gift. The father in your life will enjoy these things, whether they're trying to get some work done using the focus gummies or just go to bed, a little bit easier with the rest gummies. Also just delicious. So if they're just like in the mood for a gummy of any sort, you can go ahead and get these things at mindsetwellnesscbd.com, and you can use your code Seeing Other People for 10% off and free shipping, which is a huge, huge thing. Again, this is a family-run company. John Renee, they were a guest of ours a couple episodes ago. You can go listen to it. I wonder if maybe we get John a set of his own gummies for Father's Day. Maybe that's a fun little thing from the Seeing Other People fan. But you guys have actually done a really amazing job supporting this company. And I think we sold out of the rest gummies, but guess what? They're back in stock. So you can go get them now. We mean this. They are awesome. They help us, and hope they help you guys too. Seeing Other People, 10% off, free shipping, mindsetwellnesscbd.com. Enjoy.
All right. So in front
Which
of me.
Which deck do you want to play?
Well, we got a bunch of stuff. We have the main deck, which is a giant box here, which is awesome. We have the relationship expansion pack, the honest dating expansion pack, and the breakup edition. So, okay, well, you can ask, we can do a mix. But I would play around with all. So basically the way it works is in the main box, there are 3 decks, and it's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And the questions get deeper as you go on. So, Jonah, make sure to do a mix of them, and I'll pull out the breakup edition.
Okay.
And it says on this box, the end of a relationship is the beginning of a new one with yourself. So it's also, you could do this on your own.
Please don't. Please don't.
Oh my God.
Please don't sit at home and do this game alone.
Why not? It's kind of fun. Get to know yourself better.
All right.
Get to know yourself. But yeah, this game is really, really cool. And I really love the way that they designed it. And also, like, definitely check out all of their socials. They're incredible. I love their Instagram and TikTok. I've been following them for so long. And I even if you don't actually get the game and get the cards, like 100% follow them on Instagram. They did not ask me to say this. Literally swear. But I love their content. They're without a doubt one of my favorite Instagram and TikTok pages.
Some ASMR opening the box. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna open up. We're not really your strangers, and here's your card.
All right.
Should we do the entire rest of the episode ASMR?
Let's not and say we didn't. First question. All right.
Okay,
first question. Jonah, what are 3 things you can appreciate about being single, even if it feels hard?
That's it. 3. First, I have the bed to myself. That's an obvious one. I get to unapologetically operate on my own schedule, sans the coordination of anyone else.
Which you love.
I love. I'm in my own little fantasy world. And there is something thrilling about being able to just like go out into the world, and like if you do have that like lock eyes with someone moment, there is something thrilling about knowing that perhaps that could lead to something.
Yeah. Love that.
Do I ask you the same question back, or do I pull a card?
You can pull a card. Why don't let's just keep going so that everyone can hear like more questions, I think.
Great. So I'm going to go level 1. Let's start there. Stand by. Sorry. Okay. Really nice box.
The packaging, everything's like pristine.
Yeah. Alana, what do you think your most endearing characteristic is?
Ooh. I feel like my ability to like really be interested and caring about what's important to someone else. Does that make sense?
Empathy. I believe the word is empathy.
Yeah.
I think that's, I would agree with that 100%. I think that is your most endearing characteristic. Absolutely.
Oh.
That's why you're a good podcast host. That's why you're a good dating podcast host. And it's why I kind of have trouble, because I'm like not the most empathetic person in the world. Like for better or for worse.
Fair. Picture you're talking to your ex. Finish the sentence. You hurt me, but thank you for blank.
Fuck. I'm trying to think of like a piece of clothing that I stole from her. That's like dope. There is this like vintage yellow t-shirt that's like this cafe in like San Francisco that I stole. Well, didn't steal. She gave it to me. I kept it. Never gave it back.
I feel like the point of this question is like to say thank you for like teaching me my self-worth, or like thank you for.
Oh no! I mean, thank you for teaching me to realize that that when your friends and family tell you that you shouldn't be dating someone, that they're right.
There you go.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do you think the image you have of yourself matches the image people see you as?
Definitely not.
Elaborate.
I think that's tough, because I do put a lot out there publicly on social media, and I do like I'm a content creator, so I create a picture of myself. And is that a part of who I am? Yes. Is that the whole me? No. Like I truly, and I've said this before, like I think I'm the weirdest person on the planet. I think I am so weird. But like I have people come up to me being like, "Oh my God, Alana, like you're so cool." And I'm like, no. But like,
but
again,
you can be
we've
cool
also
and weird.
Yes, we've talked about that, but I don't know. I don't know, because I don't try it at all to put a like different type of like facade out there. Like I try and be wholeheartedly me, but I don't know if it always translates,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you have so much stuff out there that people are going to derive their own perception of who you are.
Yeah.
No matter, you can't control it. You can't control what actually people perceive you as.
Right. Yeah. All right. Were you lying to yourself about anything during your last relationship? If so, what was it?
I was not. I think I was telling the truth.
Okay. Support that.
Whole truth, nothing but the truth. The cozy economy. Are you familiar with that TikTok meme where it's Joe Biden? It's cozy economy. And it sounds like he's talking about like the checks. It's great. I love Joe Biden. And he's like, the checks, it goes to the economy. It helps everybody, hurts nobody. Mm-hmm. But then on TikTok, it kind of sounds like he's saying cozy economy.
Oh, that's really funny.
Cozy economy.
That is funny.
Okay. Let's see here. Going into my nice, we are your strangers. We're not even strangers.
We're not really strangers.
We're not really strangers. CBD Mindset Wellness. Okay. Ooh, what are you more afraid of? Failure or success? And why?
Damn. I mean, I'm definitely afraid of failure. And oh God, this is tough. I feel like I've never been asked this before. I like failure because it pushes me in a better direction. In any point in my life that I've failed, I've become a better and stronger person because of it. Is it fun? Absolutely not in the moment. But does it then lead to a learning, like something, I learned something where I changed, like I broke a bad habit or something? Yes, in the long run. Success, here's my thing with success is like, I do think I've succeeded at like a lot of things that I've set out to do in my life. And I'm 26. So like, that's really awesome to say at such a young age in terms of like my career and my life. But I always feel like when I succeed in something, it's like, I never stop and take the opportunity to enjoy it or to like be proud of myself. And so for that reason, like I do fear success because it's like, anytime I'm successful in anything, it just makes me want more success. And I don't even get to look back and be like, wow, I did that. So success is scary because it just makes me like hungry for more. So I don't know, both. I guess maybe success. No, I don't know. Your turn.
All right, folks.
Doing a Feingold.
No, I hear you on all that stuff though. That makes sense. Yes.
How did you get over your first love?
I never did. Ooh.
Damn.
No, I mean, I think we hooked up. Sorry, there's a baby outside crying, but hopefully you can hear that too.
The baby's not over its first love.
Yeah, baby's not over its first love at all. I think we just hooked up, and I was like, oh, that's not what we all thought it was going to be. And then that's how. Kind of crazy. Sometimes when you get what you want, you realize you didn't really want in the first place.
So is this you on the record recommending that people go and sleep with their ex once to get over them?
Well, no, because with your ex, you've already slept with them. This is like the one that like you were in love with, right? Or is that what you mean? Yeah, some context.
Okay.
This is the one that got away. Yeah.
Okay, fair. And you're like, that was it? Like,
yeah, I would highly recommend.
Fireworks, like there were no butterflies flopping around?
Correct. I would highly recommend on the record, do not go sleep with your ex.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah. Someone's going to comment, well, so we should sleep with our ex? No, do not.
Do not.
Please do not. Please do not.
Don't do it. We will not be happy with you, but we'll still support you, but we won't be happy
we'll
with you.
We'll still support you. We're still here for you.
We'll help you get through it, but don't do it.
Okay. If you could have it your way, who would you be with? Where would you be? And what would you be doing?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I mean, I feel like I would be I don't know. I feel like the best thing to ever do is be surrounded by people who you love and who make you happy. And like, I'd want to be where I am now, like in a place that allows for that. And I want to be doing something that I love, which is what I am doing. So maybe the answer is my life now is what I would choose.
For the sake of fun, hyper-specific answer, can you give us actual specifics for each of these things as opposed to where I'm now, which I totally respect and hear you, and I think you're right. But just for the sake of our listeners listening to this on the subway, in their car, I think we want to hear who Alana would be with, where she would be specifically.
Well, do I have to choose like one person? Like how limited are we getting?
Yeah. For now, you're picking a name. For now, you're saying names.
Jeez.
Just for the sake of this podcast, because it's fun. We're playing a game here.
I mean, I have to say Zoe.
Okay. Love that.
So Zoe, my dog, everybody. Woof.
Woof.
And actually, I'd want to be like in my childhood home, as my parents are actually trying to sell it. So that's been a really emotional experience for me, and trying to soak up every last possible minute I can there because it's my happy place. And I'd be doing this. I'd be seeing other people and working on some really awesome projects on the side and connecting with all of you.
There we go. I love that answer. See?
Beautiful.
Great, by the way, great example of the way this game can be used to get to know somebody better. I learned about your parents' house, your connection to that. I learned that you love your dog. And I learned what you're passionate about. No, but I'm saying if I was a first date who didn't know anything about you and I was trying to understand you better.
Yeah. So here's a little reminder card. Breakups skew your memory. Your ex was not perfect. You will feel better. Love that.
Facts.
All right, Jonah, what can you do for yourself today, even if you don't enjoy it, to make future Jonah happy?
Clean my room. Fold my clothes, clean my room.
It doesn't look that bad.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just cluttery. There's like a lot of stuff in here. What else could I do? Maybe work out. I think workout. I am doing my fitness, get my fitness game up. Hot boy summer, vaxxed and
Shot boy summer.
What else could I do? Clean my room, work out. Maybe read.
Ooh.
But I said maybe. I read.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, let's do like two more each.
What are you still trying to prove to yourself?
Why am I getting the deepest, hardest questions? God. I think... Oh, this is hard because I would want to take a few minutes to think about it, but in the sake of the podcast that we're doing, I don't think you all want to sit in silence for a few minutes. So, real quick answer. I think I'm trying to prove to myself that I am like good enough at what I'm doing to actually do it and be successful in it. I think it's kind of like that whole idea of imposter syndrome. Like some days I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Or some days I'm like, I don't know why people listen to my podcast. I think I'm a terrible podcast host. And it's like, yeah, maybe I wasn't amazing when I started, but now I do have experience and I have felt more comfortable doing it. And people do tell me that they enjoy it and that they think I'm good at it. But like, do I necessarily think I'm good at it? No, I don't. I think I'm terrible. So I think it's just like in this path I'm going down. And I think it's just trying to prove to myself that like I am good enough to do what I'm doing.
Alana, just go read our comments. Everyone loves you. Everyone thinks I'm a bad host.
No.
Very easy to fix your imposter syndrome.
No.
It's in your head and it's in the reality that you're not bad at it. And they literally say that I'm a bad person and you're a good one. So I want you to take that out of your brain.
With them. I
appreciate that.
Them. They're wrong.
I appreciate that. And yeah, okay. That's a good answer.
Okay. I got another reminder. Your love life is one area of your life. Don't forget to nurture the rest. Oh, love that. Okay. What story about love have you been telling yourself that no longer serves you? How would you like to change that story?
I don't even know what that means. Story about love that no longer serves me that I'd like to change that story.
Do you want me to give you an example?
Yeah, could you give me an example? I think I have it. So I think I was saying, I think the constant thing for me is that if you that timing doesn't matter. That if you find the right person, no matter where you are, what you're doing, you'll make it work. I've been telling myself that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. Which is a hot take. Right. First hot take of the show, of the episode.
Hot take.
on record hot take.
Hot take number
So
one.
hot take number one. Shout out hot take. That's third shout out.
Shout out hot take numero uno.
Right. That's what I would say. My answer to that question.
Okay. All right.
Should we answer some listener questions?
We should answer some listener questions.
Okay.
All right. So again, that was We're Not Really Strangers, and we played the original game plus the breakup edition pack, and highly, highly recommend it. It really just like, I don't know, I feel like you learn about yourself too, in addition to learning about the other person.
I want to amend what I said about 30 minutes ago where I said, don't play this with yourself. Play with yourself. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
I want to go on record and I normalize changing your opinion.
Love that.
This is a great game. Yeah, really nice box. So yours is breakup edition?
Well, I have the breakup edition, the honest dating expansion pack, and the relationship expansion pack.
Copy.
Why don't let's both hold up a card real quick for a so we can get a nice little
awesome
question, like a little screenshot
like
of
this?
that.
Oh, maybe. Boom. Oh shit.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Listener questions. Thank you all for sending them in. Remember, you can always DM us your questions or email us at seeingotherpeoplepodcast.com. And if you are a Patreon member, of course, we prioritize your questions, and let's do it. Number one, how do you tell people what you're looking for without scaring them away?
Well, here's a fun little hack. Ask them what they're looking for. And then they will ask you back, hopefully, what you're looking for. And you'll also get a sense of if you will scare them away by saying whatever your truth is, although you should never be worried about that. But yeah, the hack is, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I love the idea of asking someone. I also think you can bring it up, like you can have casual conversations that lead to it, where it's like, oh, like, what was your dating life during the pandemic? Like, were you dating during the pandemic? And then I think you can easily get into a conversation about whether or not you both were, and what you're doing and what you're looking for in dating now. And I think it's really important that we do have those conversations early on, because the sooner you get to figure it out, the sooner you know if this is even worth pursuing. And
absolutely.
And you can just save you or the other person a lot of hurt.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Really well said. How to respond to an anti-ghosting text. Wow, this is some old school seeing other people. Borderline dating sucks level material here. This is great. I think you got to just own it. Oh, sorry. Alana, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's something where you just say, like, thank you for being honest. Like, there's not much you can do, because they're being honest. They're communicating openly. They probably felt a little bit uncomfortable or nervous writing that message, but they did the right thing. And they could have just done the opposite, which is to not say anything. And so I think the best thing to do is just be like, thank you for letting me know. I'm really glad I got to meet you too. And I hope you find what you're looking for.
And do you have to respond even?
You don't have to respond.
Yeah.
If you're hurt, if you're not happy, and like, obviously sometimes you get those texts and you're not at all expecting it, like, you don't have to respond. But what I would suggest is, if you get a ghosting text, an anti-ghosting text, where someone says like, hey, I enjoyed meeting you, but I'm just not feeling the connection I'm looking for, or I think we should like stop here. Don't respond immediately. Take time. Like, do not jump to a response. Put your phone down, call a friend, go for a walk, step away from it for a bit, and come back and respond when your head is a little bit clearer.
Yeah, and that goes for almost every text you ever send.
Yes.
So everything in life, do that. Anything that just requires some sort of decision making, I would recommend doing that. That's a great point.
But if you're not that upset, I would just say like, hey, thanks for letting me know. Like, really glad I got to know you, and wish you all the best. Done. And you'll both feel good.
Love
all right.
it.
Next one. Any advice for someone who has been striking out for the last 7 years? I've tried all of the apps, Tinder, Bumble, Christian Mingle, and of course Hinge. I feel like I do my due diligence and put a lot of effort into making connections with guys, but after countless first dates and few relationship fails, I'm almost 30 and still single. I focus on personality and connection, and I really don't think I'm being picky. I will give anyone who seems like a good person a chance before writing them off, but I've gotten burned by doing so. It's enough to make me think I'm almost better off alone instead of continuing to walk through the fire. Any advice for the tired, weary, and discouraged? Well, thank you for writing this in, and of course for being vulnerable and sharing what this experience has been like for you. I think, I mean, it's great that you have like tried all the things and put yourself out there. I think maybe if dating apps seem to really not be working for you, I would suggest using one of the other methods of meeting people that Jonah and I have talked about, which is being set up through friends, reaching out to people on Instagram or in the Instagram DMs, going up to somebody who you see who like has caught your eye, and really like taking the chance to put yourself out there for like that 2-second moment, because you could get a lot of reward about it or out of it. Jonah, what do you think?
Yeah, and I would also say, just from the specific things we've learned over this course, like maybe hire like a dating coach or someone to help, because I feel like there's a lot of things that we don't know about you from this, and obviously thank you for sharing it. But like when we've heard things like this, there's usually something to the effect of like, I'm looking for this 6'2" Jewish guy who, and it's like, well, the joke is that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like that's like that sometimes we sort of put these perfect people in our minds, and perhaps we're like, too picky is the wrong word, but sometimes having a dating coach, someone who knows the space really well, to help you sort of reflect on what it is you're looking for and how it is you're finding it, to a specific level of what you want, can be super helpful. I'm thinking of like Logan's book, right? When we read Logan's book, some of the testimonials had a similar tone to this.
Yeah.
So, and then she was able to talk them through and they found somebody.
Yeah. And I will say, yeah, Logan's book is called How to Not Die Alone. And I will say, like, I think the reason that I am in a relationship now is because I like read that book front to back and really tried to follow her advice and follow these steps that she suggested, because what I was doing on my own wasn't working. So highly recommend that. I also think like, just keep in mind, like you're 30, you're almost 30. You're still really young. Like you are still really young. You have so much life ahead of you. You're going to meet so many more people in your time. And it's okay to be 29, 30, like even older than that. Like it's okay to be 40 and single. It might not be what you planned for yourself, but think about all of the positives. Think about how much you've learned about yourself during this time, and how much you've learned to love yourself, hopefully. So I think you're doing great. You're putting yourself out there, you're trying, and just keep trying and don't give up. Like definitely don't say that like you're almost better off alone. Like you will find your person.
Yeah. It's also right there and there that you typically then bump into that person. Like the day you're like, I'm done dating. Then you bump into someone at Whole Foods and it's like all over. That's great.
Go to Whole Foods.
Go to Whole Foods. That's when in doubt, go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or whatever.
Isn't that what we had Ed from Claire Tasha season? He said the best place to meet people in Miami was Whole Foods.
The Whole Foods? Yeah. Shout out Ed Westboro.
White bread.
White bread. Any perspective, perhaps another episode or poll, on dates where the person doesn't drink? For example, I have no tolerance and get really sick if I drink, so I don't go to bars and can't go for drinks when someone offers. Usually go for coffee, but I don't know if anyone else has other perspectives or options of what people think of dates who don't drink.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally like normal. I actually... Someone told me a story yesterday where the person didn't tell them that they didn't drink until like the 4th date, after like offering to get pickup wine and beer and stuff. And then when he communicated that to her, she was like very accepting, but then like wanted to ask more questions, like be interested in it. And he felt like she was like attacking him and like judging him. So I would say definitely be more upfront about it. Like don't act like it's this whole big secret about you. Like it's totally normal. There are so many people who don't drink, and all of those people do date still. And I think, okay, you said you usually go for coffee. I mean, I think there are a lot of fun things you could do. You could go to a park, you can go do an activity, you could go for a long walk. You could pick up like other types of drinks that are fun and like taste really good, and go sit somewhere. I think there are a lot of totally great date options. I just think it's important to be upfront with the other person and say like, I don't drink because of these reasons. And you have totally valid and normal reasons. And there are a lot of reasons that people don't drink, and they're all valid and normal.
100% agree. 100%. 100p.
100p. 1OP.
Cool.
All right.
Good
Do you have any
questions.
last shout outs you want to give on this episode?
No, shout out to our sponsor, but that's what the plugs are for. Shout out to everyone who's trying to be more vulnerable. Let's all shout out vulnerability. Let's do that.
Hell yeah.
We're
Shout
not
out
really strangers.
Shout
We're
out
great
Janie.
game.
Can I give Janie a shout out for graduating?
Of course. Shout out to my
Shout
sister
out
Janie.
Jonah's sister.
Graduated grad school.
Shout out
NYU
to
Theater.
Shout out to my friend Liza, who also just graduated grad school.
Shout out to all the grads.
Shout out to all the grads, college, high school, grad school. You guys did it. You fucking crushed it.
Proud of you guys. Thank you as always for listening. Seeing Other People podcast at gmail.com if you guys want to write us questions. Patreon, Instagram, you know where to find us. Thank you for hooking us up. We're not really strangers. And we hope that you guys aren't really strangers.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging.